everybody can see us better.
We are going live right now on Facebook. We're converting it right now. We had to let some followers on, so we're doing that right now.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
Public service announcement.
Very good. Very good. PSA right there.
PSA. There
All
you
right.
go.
So we are going live. I appreciate everybody coming on board. I am Orrin Heatley. I'm the lead proponent for the RecallGavin2020.com team. We have with us Mike Netter, Steve Frank, and Dr. Cordy Williams. Dr. Cordy Williams, if you can introduce yourself one more time for the crowd, I would appreciate that. And then we'll get on with the agenda.
Cool. And we're up to 63 now. So people are still coming on, and we're going to turn and burn now. We start at 8, just to let everybody know before my little introduction. We're doing 8 o'clock. Obviously, it's Thursday night now. Next week, we'll be switching it, and I'll remind you guys a couple of times tonight. We'll be switching it to Wednesday at 6:45. Wednesday at 6:45. From there on, we won't confuse you or anything like that. So we don't want anybody logging on at Thursday night at 8 and nobody's there, right? We know that.
6:45 on Wednesdays. Recall Town Hall live.
But yeah. So what I was telling our viewers, my name is Dr. Cordy Williams, Megaphone Marine. I run an organization called 1776 Forever Free. We basically had a movement and a video that went viral probably about 60 days ago. Got about 15 million hits on different platforms. And we just really started realizing that there wasn't enough patriotism and constitutionality in the state of California, or if it was there, it was being kind of drowned, for lack of a better term, or suppressed or strangled out of people by this guy in the governor's mansion. And we're ready to end it. And, call me a political strategist, activist, whatever you want to call me, marketer. I'm a patriot first and foremost. And that's why my friend Chris Lippy and I started 1776 Forever Free. So we've got about 63, 66 people now. People are still getting on. I think we're waiting on Tom Del Beccaro. 2 minutes, excuse me. We've got 2 minutes till we completely start. Tom should be on in just a second. But I wanted to go ahead and see Mike or Steve. Do you guys have anything that you'd like to share with our viewers as we're kind of doing the pre-game show, if you will?
Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to share a little bit something for everybody on the phone today. First off, thank you for being here and thank you for everything everybody does. I want to stress that this is a movement being run by patriots, and everything we tell you tonight, you can take notes, you can do whatever you want, but most importantly, go to our website, click on your county, get involved, and sign the recall petition. RecallGavin2020.com is, I think, an easy-to-use website that we've designed, broken down into segments. Gentlemen who are on the panel, I'm probably going to say that 5 times for the audience tonight. But the best thing you could do to take action is sign the recall and sign it now.
Awesome. Steve, you want to add anything to that before we 2 minutes, and then we're just going to go ahead and start.
And Steve, you have something in front of your camera, by the way.
Oh, when Tom joins in, he can join in. We love him. He's a busy guy, so all good there. Go ahead, Steve. Oh, here he is. Awesome.
Tom called me a moment ago. He's on his way to come on in a moment.
Love it. Yeah, he's getting on right now, it looks like. There he is.
Okay.
Look at that handsome, dapper young man. I love it. I love it. So Tom Del Beccaro is here
tonight. Not just my sports shirt. I mean, Cordy and Tom are dressed
so
to the nines.
I mean, I wear a tie every day, so it's part of the uniform. So I apologize, guys. I was in a 3-way Zoom with some guys the other night, and myself and 3 other people had T-shirts on, and the 4th gentleman had a full suit on. So we were like, "Oh man, we missed the memo on that," So, but yeah.
So the key point I was about to make is we need to remind people in every way we can, whether at the barbershop, the hair salon, the bars, the restaurants, the yoga places, the churches, that the governor has harmed us in every way possible. Our schools are going to be destroyed this year here in California because they're not going to have the ability to really teach a full-time 5-day-a-week curriculum. They'll have curriculums partially at home, partially distance learning, and the parents will not have the ability to do the childcare necessary And I think the education system has really destroyed itself. And so we need to remind people about each avenue of an institution that was harmed by Governor Newsom's draconian response to the virus.
Awesome. Awesome. And Tom, could you test your mic real quick? So we just,
Yeah, can you guys
oh,
hear me?
perfect. Perfect.
All right, good.
Beautiful like a canary. Awesome. I love that. I love that. So thank you for that, Steve. And, you know, we're just opening up here, Tom. I introduced myself. We're kind of just getting started. Anything that you want to parlay off of that Steve said, and then I'm going to kind of start to run through the agenda, and then we can move on to questions and we'll go from there.
Yeah, what we need to emphasize that the truth is that you shouldn't wait to be led by your leaders. This is in our hands. The greatest political movement of the last 50 years came in California in the form of Prop 13, which is under challenge today. Prop 13 was not a movement from Sacramento. Prop 13 was a people's movement. And the people pushed it to such an extent that sooner or later, even Jerry Brown climbed on. And it was not driven with the tools that we have today. I mean, back then, you're talking the 70s, there certainly was nothing like computers that we use today. There wasn't, there wasn't cell phones. Media was a difficult thing to master then. The champion of it, of course, you're talking about none other, than Howard Jarvis, who wasn't exactly the most telegenic figure in the history of television, yet he was able to tap into a core disappointment, a core unfairness, a fact that people weren't being heard. And that's what drove this. And the world changed because of Prop 13. Ronald Reagan rode that to the presidency. And you can make a very real argument that the reason why Prop 13 came in, the reason why Reagan became president, and then think of all that Reagan was able to accomplish. And that was all started by people, not by their supposed leaders. And I think this moment in time, that can happen again.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to go ahead and go to the agenda unless any of you gentlemen have anything that you want to add. We had some specific items that, Steve and I had put together that we kind of wanted everybody to cover. If you want to go ahead, Oren, if you want to go ahead with kind of maybe a survey of kind of just telling our viewers, hey, what's going on in the different counties? I know that you have some target dates that you're looking at. I think that'd be a really good place to start, kind of refreshing their memory about the target date we're looking at. I know we don't have any definitive numbers yet because what's that beautiful expression you used to me? The water before the, yeah, that one. I don't know. I'm from Alabama. We don't remember stuff like that.
I understand. Thank you so much. And folks, I have to apologize. I am not a polished public speaker. I'm not a politician. I'm just a citizen like you folks are. And I talk off the cuff, unscripted from the heart. So everything you get from me is straight from the horse's mouth. We started gathering signatures on June 10th. We have until November 17th. That doesn't mean you can wait until November 17th to begin taking signatures. It means we need 12,000 signatures statewide every day in order to make our goal by November 17th. So we have a goal coming up every month. The Secretary of State has to submit a report to the people, and the first report is June or July 10th. But that means we have to get them the signatures that we have sitting in our pocket by them no later than July 2nd. July 2nd is the due date. So if you're going to mail them to Sacramento, in order for us to redistribute them and get them back to the counties where they belong in, we have to have them today or tomorrow. So it's important. You can go on our website, recallgavin2020.com, go to the county section. You can see in the county section, there is a link right there for you to click on the county that you belong in, and you can see the name of the person in your county who's in charge of turning those petitions in to the registrar office in your county. So this network it's a complicated machine, but it's very simple to use. And our web people have gone to great lengths to make it user friendly for you. And you can simply go to recallgavin2020.com, click on the tab for your county, and you'll see the person or people, and there's oftentimes more than one person per county who is in charge of turning those petitions in to the registrar's office. And that really, when it comes down to it, nothing else matters but getting those signatures into the registrar's office, because if we fail to do that, we have failed on every level. So what the most important thing you can do is sign the petition, get it to your authorized personnel, and have them get that to the registrar's office. If you can't find somebody near you, you can simply mail it to the PO box at the bottom of each form, and we will redistribute that back to those registrars.
And Oren, I had one question, and then we'll go to you, Tom. Oren, real quickly, just for our viewers, if someone's wanting to, like, it as far as the Secretary of State or the register, kind of letting the people know about the information, what count we're up to, how many signatures are valid, and all that, what way will that information come out? Will it be like newspaper? Will it be on a news channel? Is it kind of like just going to be all over the public domain, or?
Well, we will broadcast that on our website. We'll do a,
okay, great.
We do a weekly broadcast, an update on our website as well. But the Secretary of State has until July 10th, and then they will do a report based on what they've received. Now, I want to let everybody know, this is what Dr. Cordy Williams was referring to. The phrase that I use is, it's like,
you're kind of going out there a little bit, Oren.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. You might want to repeat that last little part.
All right. Dr. Cordy Williams kind of asked me to repeat myself as to the phrase that I use. It's like counting raindrops at the beginning of a storm. The flood is coming, folks. We know that. The first month, we are just getting our feet under us, and we're just getting our rhythm. So don't be discouraged if the first month's numbers are low. We understand that. The flood's coming and the raindrops are falling. It's like counting raindrops in a storm. The signatures are coming into us one after another.
Great. Now, Tom, you had some questions or something you wanted to say? I'm gonna let you have the floor, brother.
Okay, so I've been in party politics. My family has been in volunteer politics since the 50s. And this is a different feeling in time. This is a feeling very much like it was towards the end of the 70s in California, when you had the Prop 13, and along with Rose Bird, and how people were not happy with the way they were being treated in Sacramento. This is factually like the Gray Davis recall, exactly like Oren, and everybody should thank Oren for taking the laboring oar here to get this underway. Gray Davis refused to show us the energy contracts like you have today, Gavin Newsom not showing us the mask contracts. You have that level of disaffection. As Steve Frank said earlier today, this is not about disaffecting just one group or Republicans, but the manner in which Gavin Newsom has run his governorship has been to the exclusion of not only Republicans, not only county officials, not only city officials, not only Republicans, even Democrats in Sacramento think he is off by himself. But what he has done is beyond simply just running a bad show. This isn't just about whether he's a good or bad governor. There's two things we need to think about: the size and effect of his politics and policies, and the manner in which he's going about it. You can't say that he is inclusive. I know that he would like you to believe that, but the reality is that he's doing things, 40 some executive orders, some of them turned back by courts. These are non-inclusive measures. He's doing things beyond the law, signing no bid contracts, buying $1 billion worth of masks, and then suddenly saying, oh, you need to start wearing masks, not bringing people together. He's not being lawful. And if that's not bad enough, you have to look at the effects. California today can't reliably deliver energy. It can't reliably deliver water. It can't even provide the safety that we need as Californians. And so you have to ask yourself, is this the new normal? Is the new normal the fact that we are facing a $14 billion deficit this year and $40 billion next year, and that we should just wait to get bailed out by the federal government? I mean, that's never happened before in history. Is it the new normal? Is it the new normal that PG&E is getting ready to shut down the state when the storms come, when the firestorms come? Is it the new normal that we should erase Prop 13 that's been around for decades to pay for these deficits? My suggestion to you is that it's not. And that even more importantly, it can't be in this moment in time. Because if we accept that performance as the new norm, then really we've given up on California. And I know the people on this call, I know the people that are listening, they're not ready to give up and say it's okay to run a deficit larger than the budgets of most of the states in this country. I'll say that again. Gavin Newsom's deficit for next year is larger than the total budgets of the majority of states. To me, that's not acceptable. And when I say not acceptable, that means we're going to do something about it. And so my message to you today, to the people on this line, to the people that you're going to talk to is, we're citizens. The most important job, Madison said, in government is for the citizen. And I just did a Zoom call for the last hour, and I heard a story of a single person who went out and set up a tent in El Dorado County, put out water and refreshments, and got 150 signatures. One person. If we did that, if each of you out there gave $1, just the numbers alone would qualify this if you gave $1. And the question is, how hard is it to do this? It's not that hard anymore. Gray Davis was recalled without huge computer efforts. So all you need to do is go to the site, recallgavin2020.com, download a petition, give some money, sign it in 2 places, the directions are there, and mail it in. In 6 minutes, you can have your voice heard. In 6 minutes, you can change the course of California. It's not a question of a way. Actually, recalls are pretty simple. It just takes will. So will you sign the petition? Will you get others to sign it? And will you speak up? Because I know if you're on and you're listening and you have friends who care too much for California to leave it to the likes of Gavin Newsom and his ambitions to be president. This isn't about Gavin. This is about us. This is about our children. And this is about our tomorrow. And I'll hope you go to recallgavin2020.com, download that petition, and help us change California for the better. Thank you, Warren.
Beautiful, beautiful, Mr. Del Beccaro. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I'd like,
yeah. Hold on 1 second, Mike. Just to recap real quickly, guys. Basically, we're Oren, about 150 days now left. Does anybody know the count on that?
Yeah, it's we have until November 17th.
Okay.
But as he describes, as Oren importantly describes, do not wait for the last. I'm out there trying to raise money. We need to have the storm in full force within 30 days from today.
Amen. Amen.
Folks,
So it's $4 million, guys, and we need $4 million. We need 2 million signatures, right? And we got about 150 days. Oren, I think Mike had something. Mike, you want to go real quick, or Oren, you got something real quick? I don't want to, I'm not picking favorites or anything.
No, Oren and I worked together a long time, so we're both very impassioned.
Okay, there you go. There you
I
go.
wanted to jump in real quick. I'm watching the
go ahead.
panel question, and I know we have, watching the populations questions, and I want to stress everything you're asking, which are great questions that I'm seeing coming up, is again on our website at recallgavin2020.com. Reasons to recall Gavin, how to get a petition, how to find a county coordinator, how to get involved, like Tom says, even how to sign online, where to find permanent signing locations. So please, like I mentioned, I told you already, Cordy, I'd mentioned about 5 times, go to the website. It's a centralized place for information. If there's something we missed, tell us. There's an impassioned group of patriots running this, but recallgavin2020.com. And I also want to add too, that everywhere you go, my doctor, the guy that cuts my hair, it's amazing the number of people they say, what do you do with your time? I go, I do this, I that to make money. And by the way, have I mentioned, and their ears perk up, and I usually spend way more time than I'm supposed to getting that function done. So you'd be amazed at the number of people outside your normal sphere that you become accustomed to in the last 20 years that are willing to be a signing location, willing to sign the petition, and most importantly, get their family and friends to sign it too. Back to you.
So we have 3 questions, and what the girls are doing. My girls, Hannah and Haley, the 2 H's, amazing women, by the way. Thank you, Hannah and Haley. They are populating some of the questions right now. We had a couple of ones just come in that I think should be addressed right now. So Oren, I'm gonna flip it to you, and then you send it to Steve or Tom or whoever you think is most appropriate. But I think I know the answer to this, but Oren, I still want to give you to the floor because I don't want to say something that's factually untrue. Do forms need to be on legal size paper? Oren,
we have offered the option for people to print out either the legal size or letter size petition form. So the legal size has 10 signature spaces and the letter size has 5 signature spaces. This is a superior form. It's easy to use. We spent a long time crafting the form and getting it approved through the Secretary of State for circulation. It is authorized. It is approved. And I just want to shout out to both Steve Frank and Tom Del Beccaro and the California Revival.com PAC. They have partnered with us to see that this is going to be a successful recall. And, Tom spent a lot of time shouting out for us. And I just want to let everybody know that, Tom is working in conjunction with the recallgavin2020.com team, and the California Revival.com team is working in conjunction with us and to protect Prop 13. So all of the above are worthy endeavors, and every battle worth fighting is a battle worth funding. So if you fund CaliforniaRevival.com, if you fund the RecallGavin2020.com team, you are making a difference. California is in need of a serious course correction. As somebody said to me today, they feel like they're on the Titanic and it's heading toward an iceberg. We have the opportunity right now, folks, to change the direction of this ship before it hits the iceberg, but we have to steer it in the right direction. So you are the steering committee. We are not doing this recall for you. We're doing it with you, and we're giving you the opportunity to achieve this.
And what I was going to say real quick, and then we've got one more question, is if the petitions don't say Patriot Coalition on them, they're not real petitions. There's one petition, one mission. So you guys got to really, really understand that. The other point is if it comes in online and they're trying to get you to sign an online thing, it's a ruse. Okay. It's not true. It's not true. So it's got
I'm
to
not
be a
sure
written
our
form.
petition says Patriot Coalition on it, but you can get it from our website. The only place you can get the authorized petition is from recallgavin2020.com. You can download the PDF right there. You can sign it, print it, sign it, and then sign the declaration on the bottom. Follow the instructions, folks, because it's very critical. You follow the instructions, and then you can mail it in to the address on the bottom of each form.
Okay. And if it doesn't, I guess what I meant is if they're out at a grocery store and somebody's taking signatures, right, and it's not a Patriot Coalition form, then they need to walk the other way. And sign a
They
different form.
they certainly can ask, are you associated with it? Best thing to do is go to or incite the recallgavin2020.com or carevival.com, download it, and ask your neighbors. You shouldn't be shy about this. You don't have to be, just ask them, are you happy with what's going on in California? If you're not, tell us why, and then, see if they'll sign it. You'd be surprised. Again, the stories I'm hearing and people just going out and getting multiple signatures are very heartening. This is the life we need to lead if we want to lead California. And you can change this around. Michigan went over to the Republicans for a period of time. Pennsylvania used hardcore Democrat, had Republican supermajorities in the Assembly and the Senate. But it takes the us. It takes the we. Don't look for your leaders in Sacramento to save you. We need to lead them.
They are not the leaders in Sacramento. We, the people, are the leaders. And you folks, you in the audience, are going to bring the power of the people to bear on the government officials until they become representative and accountable and responsive to the people they serve once again.
And that's, I think, a really good point that I stress over and over to everybody. A lot of us in California felt a little bit powerless. We don't know our votes counting. We're in a runoff state. Sometimes we don't even see a good debate. You now have the ability, every single one of you out there, to take action by signing the recall. Once we get enough signatures, there's nothing to stop the initiative from going on the ballot. Let's be clear here. There can be really no funny business. So you have the power, right hand or left hand, to sign the petition and get people to sign it. You have the power in your hand literally now today because of the work Oren and our committee has done.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and maybe we should briefly explain before Steve gives his thoughts. The way this works is that we have this period of time to gather the signatures. If we get enough signatures, and we need a lot, 1.5 million valid signatures, 2 million, we're going to try for 2 million overall because that gives you a cushion. And then there is a period of time where it's certified, and then a special election is called. And so that special election would happen in the February or the March timeframe, and then there it is. And then that special election is very simple. 2 questions: should Gavin be recalled or not? And the next question: who among the following would you vote for to replace him? So this is not something that's going to be on the November ballot. It doesn't interfere with the November elections. But we need you now. I sort of feel like Jerry Lewis right now in a telethon. We need you now to pledge your help to get the signatures. And this can be done. It's been done before. And given technology, again, go to the website, Recall Gavin 2020. That's for sure. It's there. If you wind up on my site, carevival.com, it's there with the instructions. Just fill them out. Recall Gavin people 2020 have a great group of people waiting to get your mail so that they can send it on to the registrars.
Okay, guys. So we got a couple of things. I don't want to get too bombarded with the questions. If you can give me 1 second, Steve, promise you'll have the floor. Steve's been so patient and sweet, man. And we're all interrupting each other, right? So at any rate, what I was going to say real quickly is if you guys need a video, you can go to 1776 Forever Free. It may be on the recallgavin2020.com site. It may be on carevival.com site. Chris Lippy did a video just kind of really adding to, this is how simple it is. This is how to fill out the form. This is how to print the petition. Really just, there's almost no way to mess it up, right? Like, so we've really tried to make it where it's really, really simplistic. And along the lines of that, we have a couple of questions for you real quick, Oren, and then I'm gonna give the floor to Steve. Do they have to mail, this is what a couple of people put this out. Do we have to mail our petitions to the CA Patriot Coalition?
No, you don't. There is a link on our website under the California or under the county section. So you go to recallgavin2020.com and you can click on the county selection, and it'll have a list of people in your county who are authorized personnel to turn those petitions over to. So they absolutely do not have to come to Sacramento, and it's cost effective to keep them in your county, and they can redistribute those within the system rather than having to come up to Sacramento and be sent back out to each individual county from here.
Awesome. Awesome. And then the last one before you have the floor, Stephen, I think I know the answer to this, but I'm still going to let you be the voice of authority on this one, Oren. Couple of people asked, can you use the same form for multiple signatures?
You can, as long as everybody on that form live and are registered to vote in the same county.
Okay.
Because on the top of the form, above the signature boxes, you'll see there's an area where you can write in the county. So even though you may live in one county, you can circulate for multiple counties. I think the last event that I did at Cal Expo, we had 50 counties represented, and I had to mail out petitions to all of the other 50 counties.
Just to be very clear about that, if you want and have friends, you live on a border of a county or otherwise, print out 2 petitions. One is for Sacramento County, one is for Placer, one is for Riverside, one is for San Bernardino, and have them both there, and you have to separate them out. Otherwise, and so all the people from Riverside are on one, all the people from San Diego on a different one. If you commingle them and you turn it into Riverside, all the other non-Riversides don't get counted at all. So definitely go and print out 2, and both Warren's site, recallgavin2020.com, and my site have the simple directions. You just have to, again, in 6 minutes, you can do this.
And when he says his site, it's carevival.com.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Steve, go ahead. You've been quiet as a mouse, very, very respectively, and I know respectfully, and I know you have some things to say. So go ahead, my friend.
Well, this is a great day in California. In 135 days or so, we will have qualified enough signatures to create a recall of Gavin Newsom. We have 135 or so days to do that. I was honored to be involved in 1977-78 with the Howard Jarvis Prop 13 effort. I worked on the registration and the petition drive in Southern California. And I see a great deal of commonality between the feelings of the people of California in 1978 and the feelings of the people in California in 2020. In 1978, Californians were angry that their property taxes were going up by such a large amount every year, and sometimes twice a year. And about a month before the 78 election, the assessor for Los Angeles, Alexander Pope, announced that the property taxes were going to double the following year in Los Angeles. This created anger, and people not only signed the petitions before that because of their anger on the rising property taxes, but voted for Prop 13 because of their anger. Fast forward to 2020, to today. Our churches are closed, but protesters are allowed to do what they please. Our schools are not teaching, but they still take money. LA Unified in this coming year is going to spend $18,000 per student, but most of the time the kids are going to be distance learning, not in the classroom. Plus, if they were in the classroom, the students are going to learn that if they sit close to Johnny or sit next to Janie, they may wind up dead. I've had little kids in elementary school in Ventura County tell me they're afraid of going to school because if they go to school, they'll die. That's the type of emotion and mentality that's being pushed into these kids. We as parents and grandparents need to act on that and tell them we will fix it. And the way to fix it at the beginning is to recall Gavin Newsom. But we've had other problems. Yesterday, Uber announced that the bill AB 5 that was signed by Newsom is going to cost 158,000 jobs just in that one company. I have looked at the economics of this, and I believe a total of 1 million jobs statewide are going to be lost. And what happens to those people? Instead of going from taxpayers, they're going to be taking social welfare and being on the government dole, or as I like to call it, the government plantation. We need to be angry about those people losing their jobs because of Gavin Newsom. We know that he has pushed an effort to create voter registration that doesn't mean anything anymore. The DMV last year admitted they had registered 153,000 people erroneously, sent that to the Secretary of State. As far as we could tell, so far, those 153,000 are still on the voting rolls. There's just under 500,000 people who are on the voting rolls that are either dead, moved, or duplicates. 500,000 votes. And there's somewhere around 50,000 people that are going to get 2 ballots. And this is the type of fraud that Governor Newsom has been involved in. As I prefer to say, we have not had an honest election in California in years, and all because of Newsom and his buddies. And if we want to send a message to the Democrats, if we want to send a message to the regressives that have created a state where people are fearful of even shaking hands, where people are fearful of being in a restaurant with others, going to church with people. There are ministers that are refusing to open up their church, yet are willing to go into protest marches. If you're angry about this, that's what the Recall Gavin 2020 is about. We're not going to be looting. We're not going to be burning. We're not going to be closing down police stations. We're not going to be shooting people. We're going to do it the right way. And the right way is what Hiram Johnson gave us in 1913, the right to recall. And thanks to Orrin and his team to start this off. And now there are thousands of people who have joined him and his people in their effort. People like us, Cordy, have joined Orrin in this because we believe in the power of the people being in control of the state. And that's what the recall is about, returning the state to the people. And this sends a major message. In 2003, when we recalled Gray Davis for good reason, for a short period of time, we actually had a government that was geared to the people. Unfortunately, the governor at that time decided to verve left and join the Gary Davis people in how to govern. But we, the people, still have the control of this. So as I go back to my thoughts of my activities back in 1977, 78 on Prop 13, I can see the same dynamics today. Yes, as Tom said, when we were going out for petition drives and getting people around the state involved, we didn't have the ability to email folks in Trinity County and Humboldt County and Lassen and in Imperial County, please get involved. We didn't have cell phones. And I know this may shock you, Corey, we did not have Facebook, nor did we have Zoom in 1977 or 78, so we could communicate. On the Saturday before the election in June of 1978, I had a rally on my block when I lived in Sepulveda. We had 2,000 people at that rally. We had a flatbed, and I spoke on the platform with Howard Jarvis, and it was Jarvis, myself, and two other people who spoke to 2,000 people from a flatbed on a street in Sepulveda, and that was our rally. And we didn't have the ability of social media to promote it, but we did it. We have those tools today. We should be able to do it. People are angry, and we should get into that anger, embrace that anger, and get the folks to understand they can be angry in a positive way by signing the recall, by going to recallgavin2020.com. Thank you.
Mic drop. That was beautiful. So a couple of real quickly, logistically, I just wanted to show off a petition. Mr. Del Beccaro gave me this fantastic idea, which I thought it was very good too. I'm a visual learner myself. So if you can see that, that is one of the pages where there could be five different signatures. And of course you have to sign at the bottom. Like I said, that's talked about step-by-step, recallgavin2020.com. I believe Chris's video is up on that site as well. That's on 76foreverfree.com as well. Chris Lippy, my partner, he just goes another way of you just hearing it, so you're comfortable with it, so you know you're going to do it the right way and you feel secure about it. Real quickly, I did have a couple of questions, and then I'm going to give the floor to you, Mr. Netter, for a second, and then I think we just need to go to questions because we got 243 people on the actual Zoom, and we're getting questions in Zoom and we're getting questions on Facebook, so things are turning and burning. But the question real quick, Oren, was a couple of viewers asked, what are we doing to mitigate basically voter registration with people signing, because some of them know the policies and they basically understand that if you're not if you're not a registered voter and you sign the petition, that your signature is invalid. And so a couple of the viewers are asking, well, what are we doing to mitigate that? What are we doing to check that in all the different counties? And is the effort congruent in the same statewide, or kind of if you could speak to that? So I know you and I were talking about this earlier, but some of the viewers now are inquiring about it, interestingly enough. Oh, let me unmute you. If I muted you, or you might have, I don't know
I
if
think Oren muted himself.
Oh, okay. Did you? Okay. Here, I'll unmute you there, buddy.
All right.
There we go. You're unmuted. We'll do it together, this tech world, right?
All right. So very good. Thank you so much, folks. If you don't know how you're registered to vote, if you don't know how you signed, look at your driver's license and sign that way. They have 3 signatures on file for almost every registered voter. So in the last couple of rounds, there was a lot of hyperbole. There was a lot of concern over if your P's and J's dip below the line, if your signature goes above the line, if you encroach into that little box on the side of the signature line, it'll destroy the whole sheet. No, that's not true. That is absolutely not true. So your P's and J's can dip below the line. You can sign, you can go out of the lines. It's okay, folks. Relax and sign the form. That's the important thing, is you sign the form. And if your signature closely matches your driver's license or closely matches your registered signature with the registrar of voters, then they will accept it if it matches your address. The important thing is they can read your name when you printed your name. They can read the address that you printed on the line. And our forms are set up so it's user friendly. You print your name, you sign your name on one line, then you put your entire address, including your zip code, on the next line. Okay, your entire address. Your zip code is very important. So if all that matches, the registrar of voters, the secretary of state, are going to accept your signature they don't, the people at the registrar's office, as much as we'd like to think that the Secretary of State and the Attorney General are as evil as they are, as they are, the people that work with them are generally good people, folks. They're just like you and me. They want to do a good job, and they want to follow the law, and they want to follow the regulations that they're up, and they want to uphold the sanctity of the office that they fulfill. So they're good people. They're not evil. They're not out to get us. Sign your name, put your address, put your, the biggest enemy we have out there against this recall is our own sloppy handwriting and our own laziness. So take your time, fill the forms out properly, write legibly so we can read your handwriting, and sign your name. Simple as that.
Awesome. Awesome. So just so you guys know, Oren can call you lazy because he spent 30 years as a sheriff and chief and all this stuff. So he definitely has that right. He's been working his tail off like many of the people on this call.
I apologize if I offended anybody.
No, I'm playing. No way. No way. You're the nicest guy in the world. Real quickly, we've only got about 20 minutes, guys, 23 minutes if we want to get off on time at 9. Mike, do you have anything you want to say real quickly?
Yeah, I really want to add something for everybody on this call. And Steve, thank you for bringing me back to the days of the flatbed. Steve's one of the few people that makes me feel young. And Tom, I want to add to something that you said too. Everybody on this call, I want you to really understand one of the things that's different from even the Prop 13 in the Gray Davis days is the power of social media. Let me really stress this. There are 4.7 or almost 5 million conservative voters in California. We need to get the word out to think about this, about 40% of them to get this done. For everybody on the call tonight, I know you have at least 20 to 30 conservative friends on your social media. We need to get the word out. Every single one of you on the call, on the Facebook Live, on the Zoom makes a difference. Get them to go to our website, get them to join our Facebook groups, get them to tell 20 of their friends. That exponential power that we have today, that our team has set up at recallgavin2020.com is what will help to propel this forward. Get out and spread the word, kind of like religion, kind of like politics, but we've set up the ability to do it. The Facebook group is right on the website for you. That's what I've been anxious to say. The power is in your hands and fingers.
I didn't mean to keep you muzzled. I didn't mean to keep you muzzled. Sorry.
I'm fired up. Yeah, don't worry about it.
So, question that I think is really important. Couple of viewers put it out there. My good friend Melanie Burkholder, that's running for state assembly. She's also on the call, and she put this out as well. She said, or they said, someone said they had 4 signatures from people from the same county and 1 out of the county by accident. Can they just cross that name off, or does everyone need to re-sign? So who wants to answer that? Who wants to take that one?
They can cross out that one.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Beautiful. So we'll go to other questions then, unless you gentlemen have anything to say, since we only have about 20 minutes. Ladies, how do I do this? Show me my technology here. Dun, 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 drum roll. I'm learning all this technology, baby. It's beautiful. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. So here's a popular one that's come up, and I know you guys have probably gotten it 1,000 times, so I'll just ask it cumulatively, and you guys can give whatever answer you want to give. Do we have a replacement in mind? That has come up on air and off air. So,
I want to give that over to Steve to answer, or Tom.
Let me respond to that. If we get involved as a recall effort, saying we support Smith or Jones to replace Newsom, we become a political operation that is suspect. We really need to stay out of the discussion of his replacement. The only way we talk about that is we need to make sure that his replacement is somebody that is legitimately involved in government for the people, and not trying to have the government control the people. But if we get into a discussion, if Jones or Smith or whoever should replace him, then we've made this political and we harm the whole cause. one thing to be clear, this is not a Republican effort. It's not a Democrat effort. Gavin Newsom has harmed 40 million Californians. And it's a California effort on behalf of those people who have been harmed.
Awesome.
Well,
Not awesome
Cordy,
that
why
they were
don't
harmed,
you,
but awesome.
Cordy, why don't you talk about the rally this weekend?
Okay, great. Awesome. Well, I will talk about the rally, and then if you guys are cool with it, we'll just spend the next 15 minutes on questions. And if anybody needs to break away, you know, just I just
I
want
would like
honor
to
what we said
dovetail
about that.
into,
Go ahead, Oren.
I would like to dovetail into what Steve had just said. This is not a Republican mission. This is not a conservative issue or a liberal issue or a black and white issue. This, we desperately want to make it clear to everybody in California, this is your issue. We are not doing this recall for you. We're doing this recall with you. And this is your opportunity. This is the power of the people will speak November 17th. This is a test, and it's a pass or fail test, and it's due November 17th. So the power of the people will speak whether or not you approve of the way this government is going or not. November 17th will speak loud and clear. If you disapprove of the way this government is being run, if you disapprove of what Governor Newsom is doing to our businesses, our state, if you disapprove of him giving clemency to rapists and murderers and people that have committed heinous crimes against children, and if you disapprove of the way that he's operating the criminal justice system, if you disapprove of everything he's doing, this is your opportunity to derail him and his socialist agenda right here, right now. This is a California movement. This is not a charged political Trump rally. This is not a charged right-wing thing. This is not a left-wing thing. This is a California central organization that is giving you the opportunity to bring the power of the people to bear down on this government and make them accountable and responsive to you once again. The California people have voted for the gas tax. Okay. Well, Governor Newsom came in and he stole that money. He misappropriated that money, and he spent it towards other things, pet projects like climate change and the high-speed rail. This is your opportunity to take control once again and change the direction that the California politics are going. And I don't need to convince you, because everybody in the state, you have all been affected by what this governor has done in one way or another. Your salon has been shut down, or you haven't been able to go to the salon. I'm wearing my COVID haircut right now because I wasn't able to go in and get a haircut. So my wife had to do it for me a couple weeks ago, and it's just now growing out. Okay, so if you don't like the way he's managed the COVID shutdown, or he's managing it as we go forward, this is your opportunity to take charge of your government once again. This is the power of the people speaking. This is your opportunity, not ours. We're offering it to you.
Awesome. And we got about 15 minutes, guys. What I was going to say real quickly, a couple of people kind of are wondering what we're doing from a publicity standpoint. And just to let you know, I mean, between all of us and some people that aren't on the call, Chris Lippy, Dan Summers, I mean, a lot of guys are getting on radio. Tom Del Beccaro is doing a lot. I know Steve's doing a newsletter. I mean, everybody here, Oren was on a radio call. Mike, I'm sure you're doing something. I mean, we've been all over the place. So to answer your guys' question, we've been doing a lot to let you guys know that all the petitions prior to now are null and void. There's one petition, one mission, 150 days. A viewer commented, "Hey, Doc, where did you get the $4 million? Well, that was a number that all of us kind of came up with, because it's $3.50 a signature. And what you guys need to understand is they're going to try to call BS on as many signatures as possible. There's going to be, I know there was an effort last time. The gentleman on this Zoom call, Tom and Steve and Mike and Oren could better speak to this. We're not going to say who it was, but there was definitely some people throwing out some kind of so like petitions or other petitions before that weren't the real thing. You guys signed it. You thought it was the real deal, and it's not. And so one petition, one mission. We need 2 million or more signatures. We need to try to get $4 million. And everybody's just really got to follow the simple instructions on the petition, mail it in, right? It's all right there for you. Chris Lippy did a great video on it. With that, I'm going to go straight to maybe a couple more questions.
No. Talk to them about the San Diego event.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I was waiting.
I'll talk about the San Diego event then. Here we go. So on Sunday, this Sunday, the 28th from 1 to 3 p.m., we are having our first petition and I guess get as much money, but petition signed that we possibly can to move the needle on this thing. And we need your guys' help. We're going to make it fun. It's going to be 1 to 3 p.m. We got Kofi Anderson, a country music singer. He's coming out and playing. Kofi Anderson's going to be playing. In addition to that, we are going to have Tito Ortiz, MMA champion, won the UFC championship. He was also just inducted to the UFC Hall of Fame. We're going to have Joy Villa. She wore the Trump dress, was on the Grammys, multiple #1 singles. Some guy named Dr. Cordy Williams, some guy named Steve Franks, right? And then Woody Woodrum, and then Mike Netter's going to say a few short words.
And I think Tom Del Pizarro is going to be there too. Yeah.
We may have.
Yeah, I won't be able to be there. Sorry.
One more special guest. Yeah. Unfortunately, Tom has a situation going on and wasn't able to make it. But I didn't want to blow up his spot because I love it. It's a family deal basically that he's not able to make it. But we'll have some great speakers, an awesome good time. We won't keep you there that long, but we keep you there long enough to buy a 1776 Forever Free shirt, donate some good money to Recall Gavin 2020 or carevival.com, and then sign the petition as well. And if you're wondering where that is, it's 1600 Pacific Highway, right by, I think it's called the Star of India. I just call it the freaky looking boat. And it's between the water and the admin building. And it's going to be a good time, guys. So come out. It is a family event. So bring anybody and everybody you want. Mike, you want to add something?
Yeah, it's so easy to find that if you go down to San Diego, it's literally about a mile south of the airport. So if you get confused going down there, you see the airport exit signs. If you hit the airport and go left or south, you'll find us.
Awesome. Anybody have any closing kind of comments, anything that they want to say? We've got about 9 or 10 minutes left.
Yeah, let me just add one thing that needs to be said. We need to be going to all the different places, such as churches, bars, restaurants, salons, etc. And I'm not suggesting that you sit there taking signatures, but you ask the person who owns the place, are you angry with what Governor Newsom has done to you and your business? Would you be willing to get signatures signed, then come back in a week and pick up the signatures? It's just that easy. There's also been some questions about people going to Walmart, Costco, etc. Costco is private property, and for some reason they just refuse to allow it. But there is a Supreme Court decision called Pruneyard that allows you to go in front of Walmart, Target, and all these other big box stores, Albertsons, grocery stores, wherever, to set up a petition signing facility for folks. So you can do that. It's easy to do. You don't have to spend the whole day there. Just figure out when the busiest time is, and that's when you should be there.
Awesome.
I really want to stress something too. For all of you, like I said, spreading the word, be aware we have about 160,000 people that have come to recallgavin2020.com. And when you go to your friends that run small business and set them up and don't have to sit there, like we put them up on the website once you enter the information as a permanent signing location. So you want to help your friends in small business? You want to help revive the California economy? Why recalling Gavin Newsom? They'll get free publicity on our website as a permanent signing location. Spread the word. Tell 20 people off this call tonight. Have those 20 people tell another 20. Hairdressers, any kind of shop you see, small restaurants, everybody. This recall movement is going to help jumpstart small businesses. It's not just about big political enterprise. I'm speaking as a small business person myself. The rally we're doing in San Diego, we want to see duplicated throughout the state. It's up to everybody on this call to start a precipitating event, if you will, to get this going. We only need, strange but true, 1.5 million out of almost 5 million conservative voters. Cordy, I'll let you wrap it up.
Thanks. So Oren, real quickly, if you can just address this in probably a minute, I think you can real easily.
Good luck with that.
That's awesome. I love it. So probably at least 5 to 10 people have asked, they're wondering if there's a conflict over the final date to have the 1.5 million. I'm going to say 2 million, but I know what you mean, Mike. But we're going as many as we can, obviously, which I know that's what you mean, Mike. But the question is this: is November 3rd the right date, or is it November 17th? What's the right date for when we have to have our minimum 1.5 million of valid signatures?
Thank you, folks. And I just want to shout out to Chris Griffin and Andrea for asking the questions that they did. Andrea, yes, we do need all hands on deck. And Chris, thank you so much for your questions. We'll talk later. And as far as the, I still have 30 seconds left, right? So,
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Man,
yeah.
I'm a hard case over here, aren't I?
November 17th is the last day we can turn in petitions to the registrar's office, period. So if you're going to mail them into Sacramento, if you're going to give them to your local coordinator, you have to do it before then, so they have time to count and process those petitions.
So just to be clear,
submit
Oren,
them.
it's not November 3rd then. It is November 17th.
November 17th is the last date that we can submit to the registrar's office, period. That
And so-
means
and
that
don't
if
wait-
you're
don't
going
wait
to
to
mail
send
them
them.
in, you have to do the math. If it's going to take 3 days for us to get the petitions, and then it's going to take another 3 to 5 days for us to cycle them from Sacramento back down to the county that they belong in,
Wow.
you don't want to wait until November 17th to mail those to us. So November 7th is the last day that we want to receive anything in Sacramento that has to be redistributed back out to the counties. Get
Okay.
that? So
Okay.
if
So-
we receive petitions for Riverside County in Sacramento on November 15th, they're not going to make it where they belong.
So guys, what I would put on your calendars and I would put in your head and Google calendared it, double stamp it, as they say in Dumb and Dumber, whatever you have to do. November 7th is the date for if you have valid petitions and you want them to be counted and you want them to move the needle on this thing so we can get that piece of cheese and crackers out of office, then they need to be mailed out and they need to be mailed to Sacramento no later than November 7th, just to be clear on that. So I'm going to wrap it up if nobody else has anything to say. Thank you everybody for coming on. Like I said, guys, we really appreciate this. We're going to do this next Wednesday at 6:45 p.m. It's going to be every Wednesday after that. I think we're going to have the same panel. We may be changing up here or there, adding a couple people. Who knows? We'll see what happens, right? But you guys can tune into the same link. Tune in on Facebook. If you're confused about any of these sites, right there, you can click on any of my information. I have carevival.com. on our website. I have recallgavin2020.com on the website. Any information that you need, everybody on this Zoom call, we're cross-populating, for lack of a better term, trying to make it really easy for you to find the petition at recallgavin2020.com and donate money wherever you want to donate money. carevival.com, recallgavin2020.com, 1776 Forever Free, whatever you want to do, it's all there right for you. It's all going to go to the same place. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Mike Netter,
Cordy,
Steve,
thank you.
Tom Del Beccaro,
Thank you.
Oren, appreciate you guys, and Facebook and everybody out there. We'll see you guys next week, Wednesday, 6:45. Take care.
We'll
God
see you
bless.
gentlemen Sunday. Rock the recall. Thank you.
God bless you guys.
God bless you.
God bless.